What's going on, everybody? Grady here for another video, and today we're going to be going over something I've been pushing off for quite some time, revealing my new car. As many of you that may know me have seen a lot of vehicles over the past couple of years, from my Scion TC to my brief ownership of an Audi A4 to my Lexus LS, my Mercedes, and to eventually my VW Passat. So this is quite a change of pace, and I will say it is probably the coolest car I will ever own or have owned at this point, and I really look forward to showing it with you guys. But let's start with a couple of glamour shots.
When these people talk too much, put that shit in slow motion, yeah. I feel like an astronaut in the ocean, ay. What you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much, put that shit in slow motion, yeah. I feel like an astronaut in the ocean. She say that I'm cool, I'm like, yeah, that's true. I believe in G-O-D, don't believe in T-H-O-T. She keep playing me dumb, I'm a player for fun. Y'all don't really know my mental, let me give you the picture like stencil. Falling out in a drought, no flow, rain wasn't pouring down. See, that pain was all around, see, my mode was kinda lounge. Didn't know which way to turn, flow was cool but I still felt burned. Energy up, you can feel my surge, I'ma kill everything like this purge. Let's just get this straight for a second, I'ma work.
This is the 2021 Dodge Challenger RT Scat Pack Widebody. It's finished in smoke show gray. I have the red brake calipers, 6-piston front, 4-piston rear from Brembo. And if you saw briefly from the intro, the 6-speed manual. This car is seriously my dream car, and I'm so happy to have it. 6.4 liter V8. I mean, just ridiculous. I went from a diesel Passat to a near 6.5 liter V8. I love everything from the way it looks with its retro styling, but it's still modern and contemporary, to its just crazy performance. This car is seriously one of the coolest cars I'll probably ever own. And if you're looking at these tires, they call these the Devil's Rims. They're actually a 305 section tire all the way around. But my favorite part, honestly, is the paint and the way that it goes with that retro style. It just pops. I mean, I've been driving the car now for the last about 2 months or so, and I get people that stop me all the time just because of the color. That non-metallic, just kind of monotone gray you can see here. It just looks fantastic. The Hellcat hood, and my favorite in the front bumper section, those little Dodge emblems you'll find right inside the inner part of the headlight there. This car is seriously the coolest car I will ever own, and I'm so thankful to be able to drive it and have it, in this case, share it on the channel. But you know, it's more important than the way it looks, which I think is stunning, is the way that it drives. So why don't we climb on inside the Challenger Widebody, very old school door handle, hop on in and go for a drive. Push button start, 6-speed manual. So why did I end up with a Dodge Challenger? You guys may have seen my review of the 2020 Camaro SS 1LE, and that car really set something off for me. Love that exhaust note. Hemi V8, man, it sounds so good. But that car really set the tone for me to say, hey, you know what? There are a lot of really cool and interesting cars out there, so why not get on it and try to enjoy that? Because the reactions I had in that car were just comical. And so immediately after I drove that car, I started thinking, my head started turning. I said, hey, you know, what are my options? What could I enjoy? And this car came up. I actually had the privilege to order this car brand new. Even during all this chip shortage, I was actually able to contact a Dodge dealer and place an order. And boy, oh boy, was it worth it. Oh man, that is just a drug. Yeah, as I mentioned, 6.4 liter naturally aspirated V8 pushing out 485 horsepower and 475 foot-pounds of torque, which is about more than double what I'm used to in my Passat that I had, or any of my cars really. They were sub 200 horsepower. So this was just night and day difference. But the question you may have is, why did I go with the wide body version? That's because it is a good question. Just getting the air going here, because it is a little hot here in northern Michigan, for once. Why did I end up with a wide body? Well, I did my research. I started diving into it. I'm looking at that 1LE that I drove. I was like, man, I really like that. It was a cool car, but the front end styling, I just couldn't wrap my head around. I was like, man, I don't know. It looks good and the performance is great, but I don't know. But I know I've always really enjoyed my time in FCA, or Stellantis, whatever you want to call them now, in their cars. I had a 5.7 Daytona for a review one time, and that was really fun. I enjoyed that a lot. So I thought, the Challenger may be really cool. Manual, V8, it could just be such a cool option for me. And so I started doing my homework, as I mentioned. Why did I end up with the wide body is, so you start breaking it down. You say, hey, I really want a V8. Okay, great. That gives you the 5.7 or the 6.4 or the 6.2 supercharged, which I wasn't, I'm 6.2, I just couldn't justify that in my life at this time. So I was like, okay, what can I see? And I build up a 5.7 actually. I go on their website, I start configuring stuff. I say, hey, I want the better brakes and the nicer wheels, and I want it to have a halfway decent interior with a nicer audio system. I don't necessarily need leather seats or anything. I just wanted nicer audio, the nicer touchscreen. And, I started building it up, and I was like, man, that doesn't, why is it 43 grand or whatever the heck it is? I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm like, why do that? Because it actually became a better value to jump up to the Scat Pack. And once I started doing more homework, I learned a few things. In the wide body version, not only do you get the crazy looks that you get that trickle down from the Demon, with the crazy fenders and the wide tires and everything, but you get the Hellcat hood. My biggest thing, you get the brakes from the Hellcat, which is the 6-piston Brembos up front and the 4 pistons in the rear. And then you get the adaptive suspension. In the Scat Packs, you can only get the fixed suspension. That's a one-way, just non-adjustable. But in the wide body, you get 3-way Bilstein adjustable suspension. So I thought, man, that's really cool. That's a much more sophisticated kind of driving experience than I'm ever used to for this. And so it really got me thinking about it. So then I said, you know what, let's just do it. I did my homework. I learned that the Scat Pack still to this day is going to be the greatest kind of value, but also all the great things I was looking for with the brakes and suspension and handling and ride comfort and all that. So I reach out to a local Dodge dealer and I say, hey, this is mind you only a couple months ago. I reach out and I start kind of explaining what I like, and he said, all right, sounds good, man. Just let me know when you're, dealer says, let us know when you're interested and when you want to go for it. And I realized, what? You got to live while you're young, right? I'm 22 years old, I understand, but in my heart, I'm an old man. So I was like, okay, fine. I'm still in college at this point. And the dealership's like, all right, okay, we just need this, this, and this, and a couple $100, and we can allocate your order. And all right, sounds good. And this is during all this crazy chip shortage and stuff, so I didn't know the timelines. And so I placed the order. The things I pick for myself are the really cool Smoke Show paint, which I adore, and I think is one of my favorite paints of any car. Smoke Show paint, the wide body package, and these red brakes. Because I honestly wasn't going to change it, and I thought, what, for a couple $100, let's just make it look awesome. Oh, and I did the Alpine, whatever, the sound system, and I deleted the sunroof because I'm 6'2", and I just feel more comfortable that way. And so it's just the waiting game. And they say, hey, you're gonna, car will be here in July, and we just gotta wait. It's a bit of a waiting game. That's fine. Lo and behold, the car becomes available at the end of May. I placed the order for the car in May, and it was like, all right, it's coming off the truck and everything's done. It's it was done really fast because I work in the dealership right now, and we found that customers' cars are taking months to build, and all of a sudden this took just a couple weeks. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Okay, great. So the car ends up showing up. I end up taking delivery of the car back in June, and I just start driving. That's all I've done. I actually am about to tick 2,600 miles. I got the car with about 6 miles on it, about 2,600 miles on it, and I absolutely love it. There have been no complaints about the car. I love everything about it, how comfortable it is, how fast it is, loud, and at the end of the day, it's cool. Where anyone here that's a car person understands, you know what, like when you just have a fun and cool car, life is just better. It just is. It's just better. And I'm going to car shows all the time. I just enjoy cruising in it. That's the thing too. It really brought back my love to just cruise, because in my Passat, which was a great car, I really just didn't want to go drive anymore. I was like, you know what, this is kind of just another car, a nice car, but just a car. And this car truly brought back my passion to just drive again. And I seriously recommend any of you that is remotely interested in these kinds of cars just to go get one, because you don't know how long they're going to last, and you never know how long it's going to last, man. Oh, I love that. It's so fun having a V8, not in like a luxury car like my LS or my Mercedes, but to have it in a sports car, muscle car, just third gear, all that torque. Oh man, it's so much fun. I love this car. Everything that it's done for me, everything it just has given me. Sure, you could say, oh, well, it gets 8 miles per gallon, whatever. It's miles per gallon. The thing looks great, sounds great. It's got tons of space for my life. Sure, it's going to be a little tricky here in the wintertime, but that's whatever. And, it brings back that joy of driving for me. The shifter shakes and everything it's droney, it's loud, it's obnoxious. My neighbors probably all hate me. So, but it sparked something in me to just keep wanting to do more with driving. And, I love this car. I really do. I'm going to be doing a full review on this car in due time. I just know with my busy schedule is that it just didn't open up a window of opportunity until today. I said, you know what? We need to make a video. We need to do something about it because it's been way too long. I think it's been a few months since I've really posted anything, and I'm like, why don't I make videos about my own car? Because this is a cool car, and I know not a lot of people have the wide body, so it'd be fun to share the experiences with it. For the most part, it's been really good. I love everything there is about it in terms of, as I mentioned, the comfort quality's been great. I haven't had any issues, and I love this car. So please like, subscribe, do whatever you guys do in the algorithms of the internet, because all I just love to do is talk cars, and you guys love seeing me talk. So all right, everybody, thank you so much for checking this out. Just a quick little update on everything, and hope you have a great rest of your day. Stay awesome.